Hello there guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another video. I hope you guys are doing well today. This is your last Premier League fixture before the World Cup. Since the World Cup starts in like 9 days time. So this is the last Premier League fixture, and also this is game week number 16. So we're nearly halfway through the season. So yeah, I mean, so the big question is, can teams win their game before the World Cup? The likes of Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, United, and all of the other teams as well. We shall wait and see. So this is going to be your last video before the World Cup, which happens next week. So yeah, so let's see what this game week 16 has to encounter. But before we get started though, if you guys haven't already, make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and the other series so far. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new. Make sure you hit the bell notification so that you never miss any of my YouTube content. And make sure you share this video to everybody so that they can give their predictions for game week number 16 in the comments down below. And if I have time, I'll react to them and see whether you got the same one as me or a bit different. So yeah, make sure you guys do that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the final fixture before the World Cup. Alright, so the first game is going to be Manchester City against Brentford at 12:30 p.m. UK time, kickoff at lunchtime. So Brentford, I've forgotten what the score was. Their last game, I don't think yeah, their game against Nottingham Forest, they've drew 2-2 because they were 1-0 up, then Nottingham Forest scored, then they were 2-1 up, then Nottingham Forest scored again. So yeah, Brentford over the last couple of games hasn't been that great, especially for guys like Ivan Toney, Mwepu and all that stuff. So yeah, their form hasn't been that great. For Manchester City, they've managed to nick 3 points after Erling Haaland scored a late penalty to make it 2-1. So yeah, so this is going to be a really tough game for Brentford because Man City are still unstoppable. When they face Chelsea, they face their B team and they still beat them. So Man City are simply the best team in England right now. Whether you play them against their A team or their B team, or they will still know how to win. Thanks to the likes of Pep Guardiola, they will still know how to win, and that's what Man City do. So since Erling Haaland isn't going to the World Cup, I know he's going to be playing in this game. So, and plus, when it comes to January, when it comes to okay, yeah, when it comes to January, no, actually on Boxing Day, he will be nice and fit because Norway aren't going to the World Cup. So, yeah, I know that after the World Cup, he will be nice and fit and he will be ready for the remaining fixtures of the season. So, yeah, so before the World Cup, for Manchester City and for him, he will definitely start this game. So, I believe he will score 2 goals and Man City will win this game 4-0. Because, like I said, when these two faced each other last season, it was 4-0. I'm going to go for the same one because Man City score a lot of goals at home. Yes, they didn't do that against Fulham because you know that Fulham are a good side, but they still beat them. So I think for Brentford, another London club, it's going to be difficult for them. So that's why I'm going to go for a 4-0 Man City win against Brentford. Haaland will score 2. Maybe Kevin De Bruyne will score a brilliant goal and Alvarez will score 1. And that's basically it. So 4-0 to Man City is going to be my first prediction before the World Cup. The next one, AFC Bournemouth against Everton. Of course, Everton, they've oh, what was Everton's last game? You see, I always forget, always forget. Let me just have a look. Everton's last game. Give me a moment, guys, while I figure this out. Everton's last game, Everton. Let me just have a look. Sorry. Yeah, Everton, they've lost 2-0 against Leicester. Always forget that. Whereas for Bournemouth, they've also lost their game against Leeds United, an epic 7-goal thriller. So, yeah, but Bournemouth, in fact, you know what, yeah? these two will face each other again because Bournemouth beat them 4-1 at the EFL Cup on Wednesday. So these two will face each other again. My goodness me. So yeah, this one, I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game for Bournemouth, but I think they will beat Everton 2-1 because Everton over the last couple of games hasn't been that great. They've lost against Tottenham, they've lost against Leicester, they drew against Fulham, so Everton's starting to be a bit down, and Lampard needs to really, really get this team winning, otherwise he's some serious trouble. So yeah, Bournemouth's last home game, I think they've won or lost, or I can't remember. But yeah, um, so of course both teams will be playing their first team since it's the Premier League and not the EFL Cup. And I think that, yeah, since Bournemouth beat them in the EFL Cup, I believe they'll do the same thing in the Premier League. So, yeah, 2-1 to Bournemouth. It's going to be my prediction. It's going to be a tight one, but I think Bournemouth will win since Leicester beat them 2-0 away from home. So, yeah, so 2-1 to Bournemouth is going to be my prediction. All right, this is an interesting one. Liverpool against Southampton. Now, of course, Southampton have a new manager. If let me see if I can pronounce his name right. Because they sacked Ralph Hasenhüttl after that 4-1 defeat against Newcastle at St Mary's. So yeah, let me just see what's their manager. Give me a moment, guys. Yeah, Nathan Jones. Yeah, I've heard about him, but I've forgotten which team he played or who was the manager from. But yeah, Nathan Jones is the new Southampton manager since Ralph Hasenhüttl has been sacked after being 4 years at the club. And yeah, if you look at the table, you have to say that was the right decision because Southampton go. Oh God, hold on, guys. Let me just if you look at the table, um, Southampton are in 18th place. They are um because they're on 12 points and Bournemouth are on 13. So yeah, and you know that Southampton don't want to be relegated. So I think sacking South maybe they could have sacked Southampton before the World Cup. Like since this is the last game in the league, maybe they could have sacked him and maybe brought on a new manager on Boxing Day, if you know what I mean. But they decided to do that one game before the World Cup. So yeah, when it comes to new manager bounce, you know that there's a potential upset. So the thing is that Liverpool beat Tottenham, and yeah, but how would Liverpool handle against Southampton? Because when Man United went to Aston Villa, they've lost to them 3-1, and that was Unai Emery, the new manager bound. So yeah, this one is going to be very interesting. Of course, I want my first thing is that Liverpool are going to win, but when it comes to manager bounce, you know that there could be a shock. So yeah, I wonder how the new manager will do for Southampton. So at the moment, God, this is going to be very interesting. Hmm. Of course, Southampton need to win if they want to be out of the relegation zone. So boy, this is so difficult. But I might go for a shock one. I might go for 2-1 Southampton because, like I said, when it comes to new manager bound, they will always know how to way to beat bigger teams. You saw how Everton did against Chelsea under Lampard. Unai Emery doing it against Manchester United. Jesse Marsch under Liverpool. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think like this could be a of the the game before the World Cup. So I'm gonna go for a tight 2-1 Southampton win. Because if Ralph Hasenhüttl was still at the club, then maybe I would have gone for a Liverpool win. But for me, it's a new manager bounce. We all know what that means. So 2-1 to Southampton is going to be my prediction. A shock win. Shock of the season, for that one. And plus, since Southampton are in the relegation zone, and since Liverpool don't win against teams who are in the bottom three, like that's basically it. So unfortunately, I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Southampton win. Right, the next one, Nottingham Forest against Crystal Palace. Of course, Crystal Palace won away from home for the first time this season against West Ham, and Nottingham Forest drew 2-2 against Brentford. So for this one, it's Nottingham Forest are facing another London club. So ooh, and plus Nottingham Forest beat Tottenham 2-0 at in the EFL Cup. So boy, um and where are Nottingham Forest at the moment? Let me just have a quick look before I continue. Nottingham Forest are in 20th, so they need to win if they want to be out of the relegation zone. So boy, it's going to be a tough one to predict. Hmm. I might go for Nottingham Forest win, I really do because Crystal Palace don't win back-to-back away games in a season. They really don't. So yeah, I might go for a 2-0 Nottingham Forest win. I think they need to win if they want to be out of the relegation zone so that their manager will not get sacked, because um because he has done a really good job for Nottingham Forest last season, taking back to the Premier League. So I think Nottingham Forest will win. If Crystal Palace can get another win, that's good, but I just don't see that happening. So 2-0 to Nottingham Forest is going to be my prediction. Right, the next one is Tottenham up against Leeds United. Now, this one is also an interesting one. Tottenham, over the last few games under Tony Conte, hasn't been that great. A lot, so lucky against Marseille. Lost against Liverpool. Lost against Nottingham Forest. Whereas for Leeds United, um, let me just have a look at their last game in the EFL Cup. What did they do? Let's have a look. Sorry if I'm taking this too long, but okay. Oh, they've lost against Wolves. So yeah, but basically in the Premier League, beating Liverpool, beating Bournemouth in a fiery game, that was the game of the season so far. So yeah, I expect this to be tough for Tottenham Hotspur. And guess what? I know that Antonio Conte is not going to go to a back four like Thomas Tuchel did. So the only way I can see Tottenham Hotspur beating Leeds is they go to a back four like the way Leeds United did. Basically go like a 4-2-3-1, the same thing. But I know that ain't gonna happen. So for Leeds United, if they win their game, they would be, let me just have a look, they would be in like above Brentford, if they win their game and Brentford lose. So yeah, for Tottenham, it's gonna be a difficult one. I'm gonna go for another shock one. I'm gonna go for 2-1 to Leeds United because when Newcastle went there, they beat them 2-1. And plus Tottenham are getting back-to-back defeats at home, the likes of Newcastle, Leeds United. So yeah, I expect this to be really tough for Tottenham. So I'm gonna go for 2-1. If Tottenham win, maybe Antonio Conte went for back four, but if Tottenham lose, that means he went for back three. So that's basically it. And we all know that Tottenham don't play really good. They don't play really good football, especially the way Tottenham fans called it criminal and fossil football, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna go for Leeds win, even though I don't think it will happen. I just think Leeds United will do one in the first half and Tottenham will do one in the second half. But I just don't think they'll have a chance of winning that. So I'm going to go for a tight Leeds United win on that one, 2-1. West Ham United against Leicester City. Of course, Leicester City are getting back-to-back wins under Brendan Rodgers, and yeah, so their last win was against Everton, and Leicester City are now in 14th place. And if they continue to get wins, then they will stay in the Premier League this season, no doubt about that. And for West Ham, let me just do this. And for West Ham, they lost their game against Crystal Palace. So yeah, I just don't see West Ham winning this game because, like I said, I didn't expect Leicester City to go down, but the way they just keep on losing, drawing, and Brendan Rodgers under some serious pressure, guess what? They get him back-to-back wins. So I think this would be another loss for West Ham United. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Leicester City win. And I want to say welcome and congratulations to Harvey Barnes and James Maddison making it into the World Cup squad because they deserved it. And I said this on my channel and also I said this to Pippa, to Charlene, like they deserve to go, that these two deserve to be in the World Cup because they need someone who can score goals outside the box, and James Maddison can do that, and free kicks as well. So I think he deserves to be in the call-up, and the same goes for Harvey Barnes. So congratulations to both of them, absolutely deserved. So yeah, so 2-0 to Leicester City, their last game before the World Cup, and yeah, West Ham, if they don't win, the the other teams as well. If they don't win and the other teams pick up 3 points, they could seriously be getting close to the bottom three, and David Moyes could be sacked. So West Ham need to get this win if David Moyes don't want to be under some serious pressure. So yeah, 2-0 to Leicester City is going to be my prediction, unfortunately for West Ham. Right, moving on into the next game, it's Newcastle United against Chelsea. They call it the big game of the season because it's third versus seventh. And I'm not going to be talking about this too much because I'm going to be doing this in a match preview later on today. So make sure you guys take that out. So yeah, so for that game, I'm not confident in the Chelsea win. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Newcastle United win because, like I said, they've got players like Almiron, Cameron Wilson, Kieran Trippier, all these players. And we've got, already Thiago Silva, Dennis Akawa, who else? Maybe Chalobah, that's basically it. The rest of these players are simply not good enough. The likes of Mount, Raheem Sterling, Christian Pulisic, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So how on earth are we going to beat Newcastle United, especially at St James's Park? I do know that Chelsea have a really good record against Newcastle, 7 wins out of 8, and without conceding. But the way Newcastle are doing well this season, and they're in the Champions League spot, and many people thought that could Newcastle United make it to the top four other than Chelsea? I think so. Because remember, I said that Chelsea ain't going to finish in the top four and win a trophy. And many people thought I was negative and being deluded and should back my team. I can't. I really can't. The way I simply cannot back Chelsea to win against Newcastle United tomorrow. So unfortunately, this is my first time on the show predicting a Chelsea loss. I don't want to predict a draw because I'll get 0 points, and I don't want to predict a Chelsea win because I also get 0 points. So I'm just going to go for a 1-0 Newcastle United win. We will pull against City in the second half. We will pull against Arsenal. Like 3 wins, 3 losses in the last 4 games, is simply good enough. So for me, I'm not going to predict Chelsea win at all. This is going to be another loss, and we're going to finish further down if other teams pick up points. So, yeah, I don't think Chelsea are going to win. So 1-0 to Newcastle United is going to be my prediction. Right, the next one, another Saturday night at 7:45 p.m. UK time, is Wolves up against Arsenal. Of course, let me just see. Arsenal, of course, beat Chelsea in the London derby last Sunday, and Wolves, their last game in the Premier League, they've lost against Brighton at home. And of course, even though they beat Leeds United in the third round, in the Premier League, they've lost against Brighton. They were down to 10 men. So, yeah, for Wolves, under their manager, I just don't see them winning. And for Arsenal, I think I think they'll get the win because I think I think City is now Arsenal's rivals because Arsenal just keep on winning and winning and winning. Yes, they lost against Brighton, but that was their B team. If that was their A team, they would definitely go through. But in the EFL Cup, if you win the final and the semi-final, you can play your first team. But if you're in the third one, fourth round, quarter-final, just play your B team, and that's what Arsenal did. So even though they're out, I still think that they still need to be taking Arsenal seriously. So I think that Arsenal go to Monaco and get that 3-0 win. Listen, going to Monaco ain't that easy, but listen, Arsenal are absolutely superb. They're sensational. They're the second best team in England. So, yeah, so I'm just going to go for 3-0 Arsenal win. And it's the first time they're playing on a Saturday night football because the the European competitions is over and they play their game on a Wednesday, so that's why they will get 4 days rest before they face Wolves away from home. So 3-0 to Arsenal is going to be my prediction on that one. And then we move on into the last two games on a Sunday. Brighton against Aston Villa. Now, this one is interesting because both teams won their game. So Brighton won, Aston Villa won. Now, of course, Aston Villa lost against Man United yesterday in the EFL Cup, but you have to say they played really good, and it was unfortunate not to go through to the next one and beat Man United again. For Brighton, they've also won against Arsenal, so yeah, this one is going to be tough, you know. It's going to be really tough because, you know, Brighton getting wins, you know, against Chelsea, Wolves, you know, Arsenal, Aston Villa, you know, Man United win in the Premier League but lost. So, excuse me, I can see this being a draw, you know. I can really see this being like a draw. So, my prediction on that one, hmm, I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go for 2-2. I think it's a really entertaining game because, like I said, before the Chelsea game, Brighton have never won, but ever since beating Chelsea, they're doing really well. You know, in all competitions. When they've the same thing goes for Aston Villa. When they've sacked Steven Gerrard, they've won against Brentford, they've lost against Newcastle, they've beaten Manchester United and they've lost. So it's 2 defeats and 2 wins in the last 4 games. So it's not that bad. So it's like a half and half, but they're starting to improve under Unai Emery. So it's going to be tough to see who wins this game. So that's why I'm just going to go for a draw 2-2, you know. So yeah, it's going to be an entertaining game. And plus, it's going to be at the Amex Stadium. So yeah, it's going to be tough for both teams. It's going to be tight, but I'm going to go for a draw 2-2. And it's at 2 p.m. as well. So 2-2 between Aston Villa and Brighton is going to be my prediction on that one. And then, last and not least, it's Fulham against Manchester United. Now, of course, many people are not predicting the Manchester United to win because Fulham were unlucky not to beat to get a draw against Manchester City. But listen, Man United beat Aston Villa. You know, when they brought on the substitutes, the likes of Christian Eriksen, Marcus Rashford, and all that stuff, they really improved. And that was an entertaining game in the second half yesterday between Aston Villa and Manchester United. The first half was boring, but the second half, 6 goals, Man United are through, and that's basically it. So there you go. So yeah. Whereas for Fulham, they've lost their EFL Cup. So yeah. So for me, I still think that Man United will get that win. Even though the last game I knew Aston Villa will win because the new manager bounced. Listen, Marco Silva, we need to know how to beat Manchester United. And I really hope they do. But but for me, I just see Manchester United winning that game. So it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight because both Man United and Fulham lost their last games in the Premier League. So, yeah, I'm just going to go for a tight Man United win of 2-1, and that will be it, you know. If Man United lose again, then this would be more embarrassing because losing to Aston Villa, well, you predict that, but Man United fans didn't. But losing against Fulham, they will not accept that at all. They will really not accept that. So I'm just going to go for a 2-1 Fulham win. And if Man United win that game, they will not be in the top four, but at least they'll be close to being in the top four before the World Cup. So they need to win this game against Fulham on a Sunday. So that's basically it. So 2-1 to Man United is going to be my prediction. All right, so that is all my predictions. Let me go through them one more time. So Man City against Brentford, I've gone for City win of 4-0. The next game I've gone for Bournemouth win of 2-1 against Everton. The next one I've gone for shock Southampton win against Liverpool at Anfield. Then the next one I've gone for Nottingham Forest win of 2-0 against Palace. Then I've gone for another shock Leeds United win against Tottenham Hotspur at White Hart Lane. Then the next one I've gone for West Ham lose against Leicester City 2-0. Then at the next one, I've gone for another shock. Well, not really a shock, but a surprise. Newcastle United win against Chelsea 1-0. First time ever on the show. Then I've gone for a 3-0 Arsenal win against Wolves on the last Saturday night. Then the Sunday's games, I've gone for Brighton Aston Villa draw 2-2. Then the final one before the World Cup in the Premier League is going to be Man United 2-1 win up against Fulham. So that is it. That is all of the Premier League predictions before the World Cup. Let me know in the comments down below whether you agree or disagree of any of my predictions and what's your predictions. Let me know in the comments down below as well. And make sure you click the share button so that nobody can miss this video and their predictions in the comments down below. So that is it, guys. That is all of my Premier League predictions fixture before the World Cup. So good luck to the rest of the team. If you win before the World Cup, then congratulations. If you draw, then fair. But if you lose, I know you'll be disappointed and angry on that one. So yeah, that's basically it. So good luck to every single team. The last fixture before the World Cup. Let's see how it goes. So make sure you tune in on Monday where I'm gonna be doing the review of the last Premier League fixture before the World Cup. Make sure that tomorrow you join me for the live watch along for Newcastle United up against Chelsea. The later one today, there's going to be a match preview for that one, so make sure you guys don't miss any of those. And then, if I got plenty of time, I'll be going through the England squad announcement, and the other teams as well. If I got plenty of time, so make sure you don't miss any of those. So it's going to be fantastic. So the last fixture before the World Cup, and then the preview of every single team before the World Cup starts on the 20th of this month. So it's going to be interesting. And plus, if I also got plenty of time, maybe I'll do probably some live watch alongs and match reactions to a few couple of games and just see, and I'll explain to you how that went, what I think of this game and all that stuff. So I'll be doing some content of the FIFA World Cup, so make sure you don't miss any of that one as well. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I've got to go, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button if you're new, and click the bell notification so that you never miss any of my YouTube content. Thank you guys so much for watching. Look after yourselves, take care, and peace.